Balitang National. Good morning, Pilipinas, and welcome to another edition of Balitang National. For this video, allow me to use English and Tagalog as our medium of instruction. Isang set ng rational expression na naman ang namataan na kailangan nating i-simplify at i-solve. We have here two rational expressions multiplied with each other. But before we need to multiply them, kasi aabot yan ng napakataas na polynomial expressions in both numerators and denominators, so we need to factor them out. Baka kasi may makakancel tayo in the earlier process before we could give its simplified form. Our first rational expression is in the form of x minus y all over x plus 3y. They can't be factored anymore because if we're going to use the simplest form of factoring, the common denominator factoring, for both terms in our numerator, x and y, yung kanilang greatest common factor lang po is ang 1. Yun din po ang ating greatest common factor sa ating denominator. This would mean na i-copy lang natin yung ating first rational expression. We have x minus y all over x plus 3y. Of course, do not get tempted in canceling x and y here because we can only do the cancellation law if the operation separating the terms or coefficients is multiplication. Yung sa ating numerator po, what separates x and y is subtraction. Sa ating denominator, it's plus. So we cannot do that. However, when we're going to look at our second set of rational expression, we can see that on our numerator, we have difference of two squares. Kasama na din po yung ating denominator. Let's focus first on our numerator. It's called difference of two squares kasi yung operation separating the two terms is subtraction, and those mentioned two terms po ay perfect square. Yung x squared ay perfect square ng isang x term, at saka yung 9y squared ay perfect square expression ng 3y. Whenever we have difference of two squares, we are guaranteed to have two binomial expressions with the same first term and the same second term, but they only differ with the operation separating the mentioned terms. And the terms are this: take the square root of x squared, x. Yun din po ang ilalagay natin sa pangalawang binomial expression. Take the square root of 9y squared, so for 9, that's a 3. We have 3 here as well. And for y squared is simply y. These are now the factors of our x squared minus y squared, which is considered as a difference of two squares. For our denominator, it's also a difference of two squares kasi nga po yung x squared ay perfect square ng isang x at si y squared ay perfect square din po ng isang y. So katulad ng ating numerator, we are expecting two binomial expressions of the first term and second term, and they only differ with the operation separating them. Take the square root of x squared, x. X din sa kabila. Then for y squared, it's y and it's y. Huwag po kayong masyadong mag-alala if you were able to write here minus and here is plus, because these two binomial expressions are separated by multiplication, and multiplication is commutative. This also means a very important concept here. Yung dalawang rational expression natin ay under multiplication. And when you multiply rational expressions or kahit mga fractions lang po, yung ating strategy ay minimultiply natin ang lahat ng numerators at saka lahat ng denominators. In this case, we're going to multiply it like that. And with this po, it means this will now be multiplied to x plus 3y and x minus 3y. Ganun din po ang mangyayari sa ating denominator. Pag ganito na po, ibig sabihin lahat ng ating binomial terms or binomial expressions are now separated by multiplication, and hence we can now use the cancellation law for multiplication. We're talking about canceling this term with this term here. Even if they don't belong po sa isang rational expression kagaya ng kanina, since we are multiplying them, so pwede na po silang makancel. Ganon din po ang mangyayari sa x minus y natin dito at x minus y din natin dito po. So yung mga natirang expression na x minus 3y sa numerator and sa denominator na x plus y as a whole, rational expression signifies the final simplified form of our rational expressions under multiplication process. Lester Lou Sigumpan, nagbabalita for Balitang Rational. Huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe, i-like at i-share ang video ito. Maraming salamat!